So the Warriors just got robbed by the refs. And anyone who watched that game, it's obvious that ref had money on the Houston Rockets, bro. It's obvious. Bill Kennedy, I think that's his name. It's crazy because he's an OG ref. Like, he's been around for decades, man. You can't decide a game in the last 3.5 seconds on free throws, bro. Not a loose ball foul. That was insane, bro. And it's crazy because they wasn't calling nothing all game. I seen Steph Curry get blatantly clobbered on his jumper. Just, pow, smacked. No call. And then turn around and call that foul on a loose ball situation to decide the game. It makes no sense. And shout out to Steve Kerr for cooking the ref in the postgame. It was much deserved. If you haven't heard it by now, here it is.
I've never seen a loose ball foul on a jump ball situation 80 feet from the basket with the game on the line. I've never seen that. I think I saw it in college one time, 30 years ago. Never seen it in the NBA. That is, unconscionable. I don't even understand what just happened. Loose ball, diving on the floor, 80 feet from the basket, and you're going to give a guy 2 free throws to decide the game when people are scrambling for the ball. Just give them a timeout. Give them a timeout and let the players decide the game. That's how you officiate, especially because the game was a complete wrestling match. They didn't call anything. Steph Curry got hit on the elbow, plain as day on a jump shot, just clubbed right on there, no call. So you've established you're just not going to call anything throughout the game. It's a physical game. We're going to call it a loose ball foul on a jump ball situation with guys diving on the floor with the game on the line. This is a billion-dollar industry. You got people's jobs on the line. I'm stunned. I give the Rockets credit. They battled back. They played great defense all night. But I feel for our guys. Our guys battled back, played their asses off, and deserved to win that game, or at least have a chance for one stop at the end to finish the game. And that was taken from us by a call that I don't think an elementary school referee would have made, because that guy would have had feel and said, you know what, I'm not going to decide a game on a loose ball 80 feet from the basket.
But anyways, the refs, the Rockets got their first win against the Warriors in over 4 years. And them dudes were celebrating like they just won a championship. But you know what? I'm gonna let them have that. They some young dudes. It's all good. Y'all celebrate that. Y'all need that. But let's get to these Warriors though. So another tough loss, another blown lead in the fourth. What's new, man? It's starting to look like last season when it comes to these blown leads. Yes, the refs cheated the Warriors, but the Warriors played their part in tricking that game off too. All right, let's talk about Jonathan Kuminga. So Kuminga is the Warriors' new starting power forward. This is the Warriors' effort to empower Kuminga and maximize his talents. Or it could be them just trying to get his trade value up. Giving him another opportunity as a starter is something that they had to do. Kuminga just plays better as a starter. He seems more confident and he plays more free. Kuminga starting over the last handful of games has generally been pretty solid. He's hovering right around 19 points per game on pretty average efficiency. But his athleticism and rim pressure is vital to this Warriors team. And his chemistry playing off of Steph is actually really starting to come along. Now, in terms of Draymond coming off the bench, he seems okay with it. And it's not like his role is really getting reduced that much. He's still going to be closing both halves of the game at center. Because at the end of the day, Draymond is the Warriors' best center. So hey, let's keep riding it out with Draymond off the bench. Let's see how it goes. And when push comes to shove, backs against the wall, you already know Draymond's going to be on the court. Now, before we get to the latest Warriors trade rumors, I want y'all to follow me on IG. I just made a new personal account. For those of y'all that's been rocking with me and just want to connect more, that's the best place. So follow your boy at SeanHolly_. All right, now let's get into these trade rumors. First up, as been reported by Shams Charania, the Warriors are interested in Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler has the Warriors listed as one of his preferred trade destinations, along with the Houston Rockets and Dallas Mavericks. All right, let's go over some quick pros and cons. The pros. Jimmy Butler is theoretically the second option the Warriors are looking for. He's a legit 20-point per game scorer that's battle tested, and he's a playoff riser. He plays a premium position on the wing, and he's a playmaker. A two-way playmaking wing is a scoring threat. That's a pretty valuable player. Even at age 35, Jimmy Butler is still a good defender, and he can guard 2 through 4 comfortably. He's also capable of being a Warriors 1B scorer in certain situations. Steph is turning 37, so it's going to be games where Steph might want to take a back seat offensively. In those instances, Jimmy Butler is more than capable of stepping up offensively. He has experience leading teams deep into the playoffs as a #1 scoring option. A big three of Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, with the caveat of being healthy, would be pretty formidable. Also, how would you rank Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler as a duel? I think they'd be up there, bro. All right, let's get to the cons. Pairing a 35-year-old Jimmy Butler with a soon-to-be 37-year-old Steph Curry. doesn't sound like a wise decision. Jimmy Butler's injury prone, and now you got Steph battling this knee tendonitis that's probably gonna linger all season. Banking on both of them staying healthy for the entirety of a playoff run seems pretty ambitious. The next con, contract-wise, you almost certainly have to trade Andrew Wiggins in order to get Jimmy Butler. Wiggins is the Warriors' biggest contract that they're willing to trade, unless you're including Draymond Green, and the Warriors just aren't gonna do that, so it has to be Wiggins. Jimmy Butler's making $48 million a year, so Wiggins' $26 million contract, plus 1 or 2 other contracts, is what's needed to make the money work. And since the Warriors and the Heat are both over the first tax apron, making a trade work both ways is really gonna be tough, unless they include a third team. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen, because it is technically possible, but it would take a lot of maneuvering. The next con, the Heat are probably gonna demand Kuminga, so you're trading Wiggins and Kuminga for Butler. Trading 2 wings for 1 that's injury prone in his mid-30s is tough. Not to mention, Jimmy Butler's an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. So if you make this trade and you don't win a chip and things don't work out, Jimmy Butler can literally leave for nothing. And that means you just traded all these assets for a rental with nothing to show for it. That's like worst case scenario right there. That would legit set this franchise back like 5 years. So in conclusion, I believe that Jimmy Butler is theoretically enough of a talent upgrade for the Warriors to have a shot, but I don't think the risk is worth the possible reward. With how much Jimmy Butler is making and what you have to give up to get him, I'm not making this trade. I don't want to trade Wiggins. If Jimmy Butler was 2 or 3 years younger, I'd make this trade in a heartbeat. But now at age 35, it's too risky. All right, moving on to the Brooklyn Nets. So the Warriors are apparently interested in Dennis Schroeder, Cam Johnson, and Dorian Finney-Smith. All players I covered in a separate video, by the way, when I broke down all these Nets trade scenarios. So if you want to hear my more expanded opinion on the Dennis Schroeder, Cam Johnson, and Dorian Finney-Smith trade, check out that video. But just my general thoughts. I would love to get Dennis Schroeder. I would love to get Cam Johnson. Dorian Finney-Smith is a cool little last-minute constellation if they can't make anything else happen. But my main priority would be Cam Johnson or Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder would be a perfect Milton replacement. Offensively, he's a two-way point guard that can get to the rim, and he's knocking down his threes this season. He checks a lot of boxes that Milton brings, and he might be the closest thing you can get to replacing Milton on the open market right now. And their contracts almost perfectly lines up. Milton's getting paid $12.8 million, and Dennis Schroeder's at $13. So it only makes sense. Now, the Warriors would have to throw in at least 1 first-round pick, but I think Dennis Schroeder's worth it, man. He's a really good player. As for Cam Johnson, I love the idea of adding him if I didn't have to give up Wiggins or Kuminga. I think he'd be great playing next to those two. You got Kuminga that's your slashing wing, you got Wiggins that's kind of a shooter and slasher, and then you got Cam that's just your sniper. Between those three, you got 3 wings that can do a lot of things on the court. Cam Johnson's a pure shooter at 6'8". He would be amazing on his Warriors team. And then you got Dorian Finney-Smith, who I think is a really solid player. 6'8", knockdown shooter, toughness in the front court, with the ability to play small ball center in some stretches. I think he'd be a good backup option if you can't get someone better. But I don't think Dorian Finney-Smith by himself is moving the needle for the Warriors. All right, let's talk about LeBron James. So according to Brian Windhorst, and take that for what you will, he basically said don't sleep on LeBron to the Warriors. Now, my initial thoughts, this definitely would not be my first, second, or third choice. I mean, the name LeBron James sounds nice, but he is 40 years old. Now, obviously, he's no regular 40-year-old player. He's still an all-star caliber player. But I've seen a lot of clips of LeBron this season, not doing too much guarding, not doing too much moving off ball, not doing too much of anything, honestly. And I don't know, man. The Olympics was nice seeing LeBron and Steph team up, but I just feel like them being on the same team, that time's come and gone, man. And plus, I can't stand LeBron stans, bro. I can't share a fan base with LeBron stans. Them dudes are insufferable, bruh. So yeah, I'm out on a LeBron trade. But here's the thing. I do trust Mike Dunleavy's judgment. So if he decides to go after LeBron or Jimmy Butler, while it wouldn't be my choice, if he does go for them, I'm willing to be open-minded. Because I do think Mike Dunleavy has a good basketball mind. And he's done a pretty damn good job so far. Out of all these moves, my favorite target is Dennis Schroeder. If they could turn D'Anthony Melton's contract into Dennis Schroeder and then swing a separate trade to bring in a big man, that'd be a great haul for the Warriors. But anyways, that's all I got for y'all. If I entertained you or you learned something new, do me a favor, follow me on Instagram at SeanHolly_. And while you're at it, feel free to support the channel by joining the membership. Your support and contributions will go towards improving the channel. But that's it for me, man. I'll holler at you on the next one. Peace.